Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawahshi, Bahasham, Harakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing his truth and sincerity. The water for which y'all do, we love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawahshi, and Shalom to y'all. This your brother Dawud Dodd from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawahshi. Who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists, or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahawahshi, meaning he is the Savior, right? Or he's the deliverer. He saves, he delivers. All right, if you're watching this now, you're a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, then you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. You would not find Black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible, so you need to know who you are. Okay, because of certain people in the Bible was given the promise of the kingdom of glory, the covenant, the new covenant, and salvation. And every nationality has biblical ties, right, to the scriptures, and they have a biblical name. You will not find Native American, Black, or Latino in the Bible, and you won't find Japanese or any of those names in the Bible. All right, so we need to know who we are now. Now, if you don't know like a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino, that does not mean that you're not a Hebrew Israelite and you cannot be saved. Well, what I meant to say was if you don't look like a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino, that does not mean that you will not be saved. Because you can look like another nation, but still be a part of the nation of Israel, as long as your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, Jacob had his name later changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is a prince of the power. Let me see. Did we already read this? Yes. Maybe we read this. So let's go to Mark 14. All right. Mark 14:1. Subtitle reads Death Plot and Anointing. It says, after 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people. So these people just really actually only just care about what they look like in the sight of man. So much so that they're willing to put everything aside, all their demonic ways and everything, just to make sure that they keep the way they look in the sight of men to be, upright, even though what they're doing is wicked and profane, right? Which profane means outside the temple, so anything unholy, right? It says, being in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious, and she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and have been given to the poor. And they murmured against her. Yahawahshi said, let her alone. Why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye have the poor with you always, and whensoever ye may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, whosoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for memorial of her. Yeah, so you have this woman doing a great deed for Yahawahshi. Who's to speak against it, man? He won't be here that long. Now we have him here in the spirit as a comforter, which at the moment, this is, that's, all we really need at the moment. to know that Yahawahshi will be, Lord willing, be with us. And he's actually here to fight our battles for us. That's comforting to know. We have to go through things that we don't have to go through in the flesh. But just the thought of Yahawahshi coming back to save us, that is that keeps us pushing. Having faith. Just the thought that, hey, well, times get hard, but Yahawahshi is going to come back to come save us, man. Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number. Lord willing, we make it to the end. Because some of us may not. It says, and Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went unto the chief priests to betray him unto them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. And he sought how he might conventionally betray him. The last Passover, it says, and the first day of the unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover, which means, well, because, his disciples said unto him, because you have to kill a lamb unblemished. It says, his disciples said unto him, where wilt thou that we go, and prepare thou that thou mayest eat the Passover? And he sendeth forth 2 of his disciples, and said unto them, go ye into the city, and there shall meet you a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him. And wheresoever he shall go in, say ye to the good man of the house, the master saith, where is the guest chamber? So where's the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he will shew you a large upper room, furnished and prepared. There make ready for us. And his disciples went forth and came into the city, and found as he had said unto them. And they made ready the Passover. And in the evening he cometh with the 12. And as they sat and did eat, Yahawahshi said, verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me. And they begin to be sorrowful. And he's prophesying, bro. Like, that's extremely spiritual. It says, and they began to be sorrowful, and to say unto him one by one, is it I? And another said, is it I? And he answered and said unto them, it is one of the 12 that dippeth with me in the dish. The Son of Man indeed goeth as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man if he had never been born. The Lord's Supper. And as they did eat, Yahawahshi took bread and blessed, and brake it, and gave to them, and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup, and he had given thanks. He gave it to them, and they all drank of it. This is how we celebrate the Passover. These are the many different acts that we do during the Passover. It's not I heard someone said that they said, they do weird rituals. It's a Passover. It's the Passover, celebrating the Passover like Yahawahshi do his 12 disciples. You wear those, right? Which you would never understand. They said, well, you will soon. But it says, and he said unto them, this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many. Verily I say to you, I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine until that day I drink it in the new kingdom of Yahweh. So the blood is the wine, and the bread is the unleavened bread that we eat at the Passover. It says, and when they sung in hymn, they went out into the mountain of Olives. And Yahawahshi said unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. But after that I am risen, I will go before you into Galilee. But Peter said unto him, although all shall be offended, yet will not I. And Yahawahshi said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this day, even this night, before the cock crow twice, thou shalt deny me thrice. So he prophesied unto Peter. It says, but he spake the more vehemently. So I know that word, but vehemently, if I should die with thee, I will not deny thee in any wise. Likewise, also said they all. Exactly. So everybody had confidence that they was going to stand 10 toes. It said Yahawahshi in Gethsemane. It says, and they came to a place which was named Gethsemane. And he said to his disciples, sit ye here while I shall pray. And he taketh with him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed, to be very heavy, and to be very heavy. Yeah, so he's going through it right now. Now he's, feeling, heavy in the spirit, man. Extremely, down. Because he knows what's about to happen, man. It says, and said to them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and wait and watch. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. And he cometh and findeth them sleeping, and said unto Peter, Simon, sleepeth thou? Couldst not thou watch 1 hour? Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak, which is true for us, man. Sometimes we might want to do more things, for the spirit, and we might just fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we might, be hurt and not be able to really even make it to camp, whatever it may be. But it's like we got to try our best, our darndest, man, to make it, to do what we need to do for Yahawahshi, because look what he did for us. It says, and again he went away and prayed and spake the same words. And when he returned, he found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy, neither wist they what to answer him. And he cometh the third time and said unto them, sleep on now and take your rest. It is enough. The hour is come. Behold, the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise up, let us go. Lo, he that betrayeth me is at hand. Betrayal and arrest. And immediately while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and scribes of the elders. And he that betrayed him had given them a token, saying, whosoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Take him and lead him away safely. And as soon as he was come, he goeth straightway to him and said, Master, Master, and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of them that stood by drew a sword and smote a servant and the high priest and cut off his ear. And Yahawahshi answered and said to them, Are ye come out against a thief with swords, with staves to take me? I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and ye took me not, but the scriptures must be fulfilled. And they all forsook him and fled. And there followed him a certain young man, having a linen cloth cast about his naked body. And the young man laid hold on him, and left the linen cloth, and fled from them naked. Yahawahshi before his accusers. It says, and they led Yahawahshi away to the high priest, and with him were assembled all the chief priests and the elders of the scribes. And Peter followed him afar off, even into the place of the high priest. And he sat with the servants and warmed himself at the fire. And the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Yahawahshi to put him to death, and found none. For many bare false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together. And there arose certain and bare false witness against him, saying, We heard him say, I will destroy this temple that I made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. But neither so did their witness agree together. And the high priest stood up in the midst and asked Yahawahshi, saying, Answered thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But he held his peace and answered nothing. Again the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the Mashiach, the Son of the Blessed? And Yahawahshi said, I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Which he's talking about the chariots of the Lord, the Marakaba. Right? What you call UFOs, and people think could call UFOs, but they're not. They're the chariots of the Lord. All right, when you read Revelation chapter 1, verse 7, he says, Behold, I cometh with clouds. No, it's like John the Revelator said, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every man and every eye shall see him. They also which pierced him. Now, when you watch the movie Independence Day, you saw the big chariot come, and everybody saw it. That's because they got that from the Bible. All right, and when you read in Acts, also chapter 1, I think verse around verse 6 or 7, he said, the angel said to the disciples, why gaze you up in heaven? The same way Yahawahshi left is the same way he's coming back. Right? It says, then the high priest rent his clothes and said, what need we further witness? Any further witness? Ye have heard the blasphemy. What think ye? And they all condemned him to be guilty to death. And some began to spit on him, and to cover his face, and to buffet him, and to say unto him, prophesy. And the servants did strike him with the palms of their hands. See, they put their hands on their Lord. They spit on our Lord. They're going to be put to death, man. A lot of these niggas, they came back in spirit. They actually had, crazy death happen to them. But they're going to be here today, Lord willing, to receive, judgment. Maybe in our sight. Those types of things that we don't want to see. It says Peter's denials. It says, and as Peter was beneath in the palace, there cometh one of the maids of the high priest. And when she saw Peter warming himself, she looked upon him and said, and thou also wast with Yahawahshi of Nazareth. But he denied, saying, I know not, neither understand I what thou sayest. And he went out into the porch, and the cock crew. And a maid saw him again, and began to say to them that stood by, this is one of them. And he denied it again. And a little after they that stood by said again to Peter, surely thou art one of them, for thou art a Galilean, and thy speech agreed thereto. But he began to curse and to swear, saying, I know not this man from whom ye speak. And the second time the cock crew, and Peter called to mind the word that Yahawahshi said unto him, before the cock crow twice, thou shalt deny me thrice. And when he thought thereon, he wept. See, that was a heavy prophetic moment, man. For Yahawahshi to say something like that, man. Yo, and for it to actually happen, imagine, man. You feel like shit. You Peter, you feel like shit because you denied Yahawahshi, but it was prophecy, though. It was a spirit. It was what was supposed to happen. It was for, to be written. But, it wasn't like Peter was being wicked. That's just how, the spirit had it set up. But you imagine you sitting there, be like Peter, and then like the actual things that Yahawahshi said was going to happen happened, like right then and there. Like the things that the scriptures tell us are going to happen are happening, and we're seeing it. So it's like, oh shit, like we're actually seeing it, but like we prophesied it. We said it was going to happen. But when it started actually like being like at that moment, man, it's going to be hella, man, Lord willing, we'd be that part of that number to make it, man. These things are actually going to happen for real. Like, it's not no joke. It's not no game. Like, this stuff is happening. So, Lord willing, you was edified. Lord willing, the spirit was in you. Lord willing, you have more compassion for the scriptures, Lord willing, more compassion for the spirit. Yahawahshi. And I want to end it off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawahshi. Bashem Akakadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of great most on our rule well. Peace and blessing to the whole full life, and shalom.